parent behavior training, behavioral parent training, parent behavior therapy. These are all interchangeable terms used for the American Academy of Pediatrics evidence-based recommended treatment for kids with ADHD. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what parent behavior training is and what you should be aware of when seeking out a parent behavior training program. Let me start off by explaining why parent behavior training and not individual therapy, play therapy, or cognitive behavior therapy is the American Academy of Pediatrics evidence-based recommended treatment for kids with ADHD. You might be wondering, why have I never heard before that this was the recommended treatment for kids with ADHD? You might be thinking my pediatrician didn't tell me this, or my child's therapist didn't tell me this, or their school counselor. Well, the reason why is because most professionals are not aware of these treatment recommendations, so as a result, they tend to refer families to treatments for ADHD that are not evidence-based, such as play therapy, talk therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, and so on. Now, I do want to clarify there is a place for all those things, but they are not shown to be effective in addressing ADHD-related challenges in children. Cognitive behavior therapy has shown efficacy for older teens and adults with ADHD. However, they have to be motivated to participate. For the sake of this video, I'm going to refer to what we're talking about as parent behavior training because that's what I refer to it as I do provide parent behavior training through the ADHD Dude membership site. Parent behavior training is education for parents to help them learn how to use effective strategies to parent their child. There are several evidence-based parent behavior training programs out there, such as parent-child interaction therapy, parent management training, and the Nurtured Heart approach, which is one of the ones that was a big influence on me. I decided to create my own parent behavior training program because I realized after taking training in several of these evidence-based programs that none of them were specifically for parents of kids with ADHD. And while there was something that I took from all of them, the fact is that none of them really incorporated into their training that ADHD is an executive function developmental delay, and I think that's really important to take into consideration when we're providing parent training. Kids with ADHD live in the moment, therefore things need to be addressed in the moment, and this is why parent training, not therapy, is the evidence-based recommended treatment for kids with ADHD. So what parents are learning in parent behavior training is how to deal with behaviors in the moment. What I teach in Scaffolding Better Behavior, my parent behavior training program, is not only how to address behaviors in the moment, but also how to create scaffolding around kids to be able to address behavior proactively rather than reactively. And I also teach parents how to shift the way they use language in order to use language that is more friendly to the ADHD brain. Here are some questions you should ask yourself before starting in any parent behavior training program. Number one, what are the qualifications and credentials of the person facilitating the program? Keep in mind, saying that they are a parent coach or a family coach, that really doesn't mean anything. You really need to ask specific questions to find out what is their training and what is their qualifications to be facilitating a parent behavior training program. Number two, are they using any type of evidence-based parent behavior training program? Are they incorporating elements from different ones? That's what I do. So for example, I incorporate elements from the Nurtured Heart approach and from nonviolent resistance into my program, and also bringing in my own things because, as I mentioned, I wanted to incorporate executive functioning into my parent behavior training program. So you want to ask, where is the material coming from that they are using in the training? If they say, well, it came from my parent coaching program, you want to ask more specific questions because, again, that really doesn't mean anything. While there's a lot of excellent coaches out there, many of whom follow me on social media, I do want to mention that coaching is an unregulated field, so anybody can call themselves a coach. In some states, like the one I live in, anybody can call themselves a therapist as well. Next, if you are the parent of a child with ADHD, then a parent behavior training program should help you learn how to stop engaging in parental accommodation. Parental accommodation is when parents or family members change their behavior to alleviate or avoid a child's temporary distress. Here are some examples of parental accommodation I frequently see in families of kids with ADHD. Number one, making a different meal for the child when you put dinner in front of them and they say, I'm not eating that. Another example would be dropping your child with ADHD off first, even though it's out of the way for you, because you don't want to hear their complaining or whining. Last thing, an effective parent behavior training program will teach you how to step into your parental authority for your child's benefit. It is very common for parents of kids with ADHD to be scared of stepping into their parental authority, either because they perceive their child as fragile and incapable, or they're worried that their child will reject them or stop loving them, or worst of all, they've received disinformation from social media telling them that if they step into their parental authority, that somehow they will harm their child or they will lose connection. There is no validity to any of those statements. Last thing I want to mention, I am clear with parents when they start my parent behavior training program that things may get worse before they get better. Here's what I mean by that. If your child is used to having a certain level of control in your home, if your child is used to you accommodating them, when you step into your parental authority and make changes that will benefit your child's going to have to mourn their loss of control, and they're going to have to mourn the loss of you accommodating them. So therefore, they may escalate for a while, and therefore things might get worse before they get better, but they will get better. And unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly how long that will take. That really depends on your child. So please make sure to do your research before starting any parent behavior training program. Ask specific questions like the ones I outlined in this video. And remember that a good parent behavior training program is likely going to push you out of your comfort zone, and things may have to get worse in your home before they get better, but they can absolutely get better. Please check out Scaffolding Better Behavior and Creating Daily Expectations, as well as the other courses in the ADHD Dude membership site, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.